Hello yoga friends, thought we'd do a little bit of gentle movement and just gentle calming from the inside out yoga. Let's get on a mat. Find yourself in a nice comfortable spot where you just can take a deeper breath than normal. Putting your feet right under your hips. By that I mean your hip points. Toes facing out. Move yourself around a little bit. Little Tin Man sway, they call it. Think of the Wizard of Oz and just kind of find yourself where you feel the most upright, the most centered. And then draw your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Now let's keep them here in this shoulder blade snuggled in position with the palms facing out if that's comfortable for you. Fingers are down, so you don't want your shoulders up by your ears. Spread your toes, lengthen them and place them down. Start to find some firmness in your quads. Engage your quads a little bit. Already we're working. The belly starts to come in, and then you breathe. So you're pulling up from the pelvic floor, in the belly button area, and then notice if you're swaying in the back. If you feel like you're swaying, just draw the tailbone down. We're not trying to tuck it. You want to stay super tall. And you want to feel very much like you're reaching through the crown of the head. Close your eyes. Where's your chest? Do you feel like if you had a flashlight shining from your breastbone, that it would be facing down? So make any little adjustment. Lips together but teeth apart, eyes softly closed, or you can just have a soft gaze. Now try to breathe a little bigger. Feel the chest rise more, like you're getting air into the low lungs. Feel the expansion through the collarbones. And when you exhale, you feel your belly button start to pull in. Now at this point, we're breathing and we're trying to use as much of the belly breathing as we can. Get the air down. Don't forget to feel soft in the face. Now try to extend the time that you exhale. Make that a little bit longer than your inhalations. It's naturally calming to your body to have a longer exhalation. Last big breath. Blink your eyes open softly, and let's reach for the sky. Do some sun circles. Maybe you bend your elbows here and look up toward your thumbs and follow your hands down, taking a nice neck stretch at the bottom. Go again. Big inhalation. Let your head come down and get a nice stretch up the back of the neck at the end. 2 more. Don't take the head back too far. Now lift the eyes. Tense your fingers, so you're pressing just into your fingers and your thumbs, and give a little bit of a stronger press. Feel your biceps lighting up. Always think about that chest. Are you facing down or are you facing out? Where is your flashlight? A little smile on your face helps. Breathe in and out. 1 more breath. And then release your hands with gusto. Just let them go. And then shake them out. Now we're going to come down to the ground. And we're going to roll down. So let your body just softly start to roll. Let your arms feel like wet spaghetti noodles. As you start to round your back on purpose, the shoulders are releasing. Your head is releasing, all moving together. And just take yourself down. Maybe allow the backs of your hands to rest on your mat. Another option if it's comfortable for you, is to lift up one foot and put your hand under, and then lift up the other foot and put your hand under. And you can kind of lift your toes and sort of massage the palms of your hands. I'm just barely doing this, and it feels wonderful. If it doesn't feel wonderful for you and you've tried it, release one at a time. And you can hold opposite elbows. You can hold onto your head, make a little hammock, and you're not pulling on your head, you're just letting the weight of your arms add a little bit of extra weight to the head. And find a nice little sway. If you feel like you need to widen your feet more, just pay attention to your body. What is your body telling you? Just sway around here. Look at the world upside down. A nice bend in the knees might feel good. And release your hands down. Release your feet out to the edges of the mat, but still facing forward. And we're going to just move around here. Just walk yourself so you're finding a bend in one knee, walking yourself from left to right, maybe even straightening one of your legs as you go to the opposite side. So just warming up yourself up here. Try to keep your neck in line with your spine with most poses in yoga. That's always a good starting point anyway. But be good to your neck. Now, find a little bend in your knees, and we're going to take a mirroring you. Take the left hand to the left foot or leg, whatever is available, but you can be bent. And then bend that same leg and reach up. And you're just reaching out. You're trying to trace your shoulders and reach out. Don't try to overdo it. Find some action in your hand. Don't just let your hand be limp. And then bend your knee. Come to the other foot. Touch the foot. Reach out. This can be as graceful as you want it to be. I think it feels good when you move gracefully. And try to think about, am I slumping? Am I really feeling like I'm giving it my all? Belly is in. You're finding a little squat in the middle maybe. So you do what's best for you. You might be high up and be reaching and be at the tops of the thighs. So you do what's best for you. Move, move, and then you might decide you can come down a little more and take your time. Exhale on your twist. We're doing this so many times that you might be feeling this already. And then find yourself down with those bent knees, releasing your head again. Hold on to the back of the head, or maybe give yourself a little neck massage here, a little upper back massage or shoulder massage. And sway around, releasing the head, just letting that head relax. And then bend the knees, look up, and let's roll up. Start to straighten your legs a bit. Remember this spaghetti noodle, remind yourself to relax. Coming all the way up slowly. Good job. Now take the feet in together, and we're going to move into a chair pose. If your feet are touching, let your ankles separate just a little bit. We'll reach out to the sides for this chair pose. Now for chair pose, you are sitting back into your heels. So start to sit down. Remember, your feet can be right under your hips. That's a little more stable position. Start to sit down. Now once again, don't sway in your back. Draw the tailbone down, draw the belly in so you feel like you're tall from your head to your tailbone. And I can wiggle my toes. That tells me I'm sitting back into my heels. Back on my heels. Then kind of plug your big toe down like you're lightly pressing a button. And it's up to you if you want to have your arms up, but don't reach with your shoulders. Up, out, whatever's good to you. If you're at the heart, don't let your shoulders slump forward. Draw them back. Above all, be comfortable. Now we're going to move into a twist. You might have more availability if your feet are together, and it's good for you. So I'm going to put my feet together and exhale, twisting, since I'm not mirroring you, here to the left. We're going to twist to the left, take the elbow down to the closer leg or the farther leg, or you can stay high, very high up in this one. Breathe, breathe, breathe. If you are touching the leg, don't slump down. Press out of the leg. And remember, you can always tent your fingers. Some people like to have the bottom fist. You kind of cup your fist and push off. A little bit of a wrist break for that bottom hand. Little smile on your face. Notice if your knees feel like they're coming uneven, you want to keep your hips level, your knees level. Breathe. And now we'll come back to heart center. So slowly come back to heart center. So your body is where it began. And then we'll come up with a reverse swan dive. Just come up with the hands facing sky or the roof, wherever you are. And then bring your hands down to your heart. Now let's do that again. First we'll start by reaching out to the sides and slowly sitting into a chair. Pretend there's a chair behind you. Now, can I wiggle my toes? Am I swaying? Do all those little checkpoints. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to optional twist. Inhale here, little smile. Exhale, start to twist. Remember, you can stay nice and high here. If you come down, press out of the leg. Maybe do that little cupping the fist. Where are my hips? Ask yourself. Belly is in. I'm going to slowly, maybe even drag my arm across my legs to get back to the starting point. And then pretend you're reverse swan diving. So just coming from a little higher. Take a little back stretch. Bring the hands down to the heart. And bow the head. Stretching up the back of the neck. Not going too far. It's a perfect amount for you. And raising your chin. Now we're going to move into a little hip opener. Now you can do this with a bent knee. You don't have to straighten your leg, so that's an option. We'll come onto the toes of the left foot. Once again, I'm mirroring you. Coming up. Now you can stand here like this with your hands on your hips. You can barely touch the thigh. You're trying to use your core. Your core is engaged, pelvic floor is engaged. Maybe you cup your knee, but we're going to open this leg. So as opposed to taking your hand to your hip, which is fine, maybe you find more balance by reaching out to the side. And don't overdo it. Stop at the perfect spot that's right for you. And let's take some ankle rolls, taking our mind off of anything. Gives you something to do. Reach out to the side. You can always reach up. Out to the side is great when your leg is to the other side. Now, if it's available to you, notice I'm going to start hunching so I can grab my foot, just like I'm going to go into tree pose. I'm going to grab my toe with my peace fingers, they call it, right? Come up. Now, maybe I just stay here. Or maybe I extend my leg. If you start to wobble, that's your core working. So reach for the ceiling with the crown of the head. And maybe you open. Then you concentrate on your breath. And if you think that's too much and you're in that position, just bend your leg. Or just be here. Just have your leg out to the side. And then notice if your hip is out. So you want to be nice and tall. Breathing with a soft face. And then come back into center and come down. And Just like I said, wobbling, you're working on your core. I will take you to the other side. I'm going to find your foundation. Spread your toes on your left foot. Come onto the toe of the right. And you might just open up here, and you might be staying here. Maybe reaching out to the sides. Lift. If you come up through center, it's nicer to start that way, and then lift. So if you're going to be off the ground, come up through center, maybe add your arm out to the side here. And you can just hold on anywhere. You can use a strap. If this isn't available for you, you could have a strap or a bathrobe belt against your foot, pulling up from the arch, and you could be holding on there. Now, if you want to really curl yourself over, stand up nice and tall, stay here maybe, or straighten your foot. The belly is in. You try not to let your hip go out to the side. You're breathing softly. The crown of the head is reaching for the ceiling. The chin is parallel to the floor, losing the balance. Depending on where you're standing. Woo, I'm going to bend again. Release with grace and control. Try. Do a little ankle circle on this side. Breathe in and out. Slowly take it down. Okay, sometimes we're more wobbly than others. Sometimes one side is more wobbly, so just go with the day, with what the day gives you. And with what you're standing on. You might be standing on a deck where everything isn't exactly straight and there's a rug under this spot. So whatever. The sand is a real challenge. All right, now let's move into squat, yogi squat pose. You're already a little warmed up. Take your feet out to the mat width, the corners of your mat or the edges of your mat with your heels in a little bit. And just start to use your legs as your stability. Start to come down. That's one way to do it. And then take your hands to your heart. Now, move your heels around, move your toes around, make sure that you're in the right spot, and then work your way up. So, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me better. Instead of being rounded and being way down, I'm going to walk my arms up my legs and get very tall. My head is reaching, but my shoulders aren't. Hands are at heart center, arms are pressing into legs, and legs are pressing into arms. And if this is unavailable, maybe you do something like this, where you're on the balls of the feet, and you do kind of a little froggy stance, where you come up and down, up and down. And you just warm up a little bit like that. Or you can get into a goddess pose. And you might be right up here, and this is your goddess pose, or you might be down here. Make sure that you're comfortable in where your heels are. Your toes are pointing out, and you can use your legs for stability. You can come into goddess, arms, trying to be very tall in the upper body. So even, doesn't matter where I'm sitting down, you stop at the spot that's right for you, but you try to keep your upper body nice and tall. And your legs aren't falling in, they're pulling out toward the pinky toes. So wherever you are, you're getting a nice stretch. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Enjoy the breeze or any sounds that you're hearing. A clock ticking if you're inside, anything at all. Now we'll release the hands down. If you're in goddess pose, you're going to release your hands down and slowly come back up to standing. Bringing the feet in. Let's take a side body bend. Take your left arm up to the sky and let your right arm be plastered against you as you side body bend. And you can be looking down or up. And your feet can be wider or together with the ankle bones separated. And remember, you can always bend the knee in the direction that you're leaning toward. That's an option. Draw the bottom shoulder down. Now we'll come up. Both arms will come up. Now we'll take the left arm down. Inhale, get nice and tall, belly in. Start to take a side body lean. This outside arm travels down your leg. If you're looking down, be sure your chest isn't going down. Just looking for the best side body bend for you. Try the knee toward the direction you're bending, a little bit bent, and see if that feels better. You want space between the bottom shoulder and that ear. Bottom arm can reach up to join. And bring the hands down to heart center. Thanks for doing a little bit of yoga with me today. Namaste.